I have used this bad boy. I am so jabbery right now. What is wrong with me? I did use it one whole time. What's up, beauties, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Manders. We talk about makeup, skincare. Sometimes I unbox things. The occasional time we'll talk about food. And for the most part, I almost always drop something. So if you're interested in any of those things, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, ring that notification bell, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it and a thumbs down if you don't. That does really help me and it lets me know what you guys are interested in. So I'm rambling again. Stop doing that. All right, so today we are doing a 20 in 2020 Project Pan update. I'm gonna actually use the items and talk about them and let you know how many times I've used them. This is about a 4-month update, so I'm just gonna let you know how many times I have used them and what I'm thinking about the products. The first one for the 20 in 20 Project Pan is the Kat Von D Shade Plus Light Contour Palette. I've used this a total of 9 times in the last 4 months. So that's not great. It's not terrible. I do use a couple different, I try and use all of the different shades. However, this powder is the one that gets the most use. I use that to set my face today. The next product is a bronzer, and I'm going to use this today. It's my Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade I don't even know because it's broken and the lid fell off and I lost it. I'm just going to bronze my face really quick using this. I just have this big fluffy brush from Precision Beauty that I picked up at Winners a long time ago, and today I was like, I don't want to really go in and contour anything, but I do want to bronze up my face. So I thought, I used to love using this brush. Let's see if I still love it. I hope everyone's doing wonderful. It's been storming here, so I've been binge watching videos as always. So it's been storming here, but the sun looks like it's kind of trying to peek through the clouds. So now is a good time for me to sit down and start filming. I had that moment that I haven't had for a while where I thought, I'm going to skip filming today, and I know exactly what will happen if I do that. I will not film tomorrow, and then I won't film the next day, and then the videos that I have that are already pre-filmed will premiere like they're set to, and then I'll go another 2 weeks without actually filming something. So I had a little bit more self-control today with what I was doing, so I was like, I'm turning this camera on, and we're filming. So I'm really proud of myself for that. I haven't used this bronzer that much lately, but it's sad. I've only used it 5 times. It's just not at the top of my list, I guess. We'll just have to. I like it. I don't have any complaints when it comes to this bronzer. I don't use it all the time though, because it sits on my shelf because it's broken and I have to remember to grab it. So that's that. I am bronzed. We are ready to move on to the next product, which is a setting powder that I didn't use today. We're going to talk about this. This is my Becca Hydro Mist setting powder. I have used this. I've used this 10 times, probably more, just 10 times that I've remembered to track it, because sometimes I forget. I like this powder. We're getting close. We will finish it up soon, but I should have used this today. Darn it, I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking, but no. I really like this powder. It doesn't have that wet feeling like it did when I first got it. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I don't know how long ago, so. I like this powder. No real complaints. I'm not done it yet, but I will get there. We are finishing everything on this list by the end of this year. So I have quite a ways to go. I have to hit pan on everything. And
oh my God, that just got scary.
The next product is a product that I'm pretty, I don't think I'm going to hit pan on this. And this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette in Dim Light, Iridescent Light, and Radiant Light. Okay, so that's it right there. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful palette. I do really like it. I just don't use it, and I refuse to declutter it at this point. I'm like, nope. So those are all the powders right here. There's 3 different ones. I like to just kind of like mix my brush around sometimes and like dab around my face. It's a very soft glow. It's not going to be, it's not like, it's just not overpowering is how I would describe it. So it's a palette that I don't use very often. It cost me a lot of money. I'm really not sure to this day why I thought I needed it as much as I did, but I most definitely didn't need it. I don't reach for it. I use it because it's in my project pan. It's just one of those products that it's a total product regret for me. And it's not because it's Hourglass. It's not because of how much money it costs. It's just I had so much more expectation for this than it. I just thought it would be better for me. I don't know what it is. Let me know. Do you have this? Like, do you like it? I don't know. I've used this 3 times. That's so terrible. I think I should just declutter it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think I should swap this out and maybe just declutter it to somebody who will love it? Because I'm not sure. So let me know what you think about that. The next thing is a lip liner. This is my Mellow lip liner in the shade Aria. This is it right here. I have another one in my hand. You're going to see why. That's it right there. I never use it. I don't know why. I just never use it. Since May, I have used that lip liner 0 times.
0 times.
So I'm swapping it out. I'm going to use this one that I know I'll use, and it is my Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in the shade Under My Skin. I don't know what it is. I just prefer this liner, and I use this one more often than I ever like I looked back in my stuff and I was like, well, why do I keep reaching for this one? So we're gonna put this one in the rotation now instead, and I'm gonna probably throw this into the declutter pile because I'm just not using it. So if I'm not using something, it's going into the declutter pile for my nieces to go through and see if they want it, and if not, then I will donate it or I will get rid of it as according to them. But because it's in, I'm going to use it. One thing I love about the Hourglass palette, though, is it has a mirror. I use the mirror for it all the time. I'm so hoping that I have mail today. I'm sitting up here and I'm like, oh, do your makeup so that you're ready if you have to do an unboxing. And like I said earlier, like, I know that if I didn't film today, that I was going to fall into that same habit that I do all the time. Especially since I'm not positive if I'll be able to film tomorrow. And now I'm going to use my Essence lipstick. This is in the shade 02. I have used this bad boy. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. So my Project Pan items, like I'm supposed to use them. Some things I do use. Not all often. This is the Essence 02 in the matte version. So this is the matte one. I really do like this lipstick. It's nice, it's dark, you can see. It's just one of those shades that I do gravitate towards. So I have no real complaints over this lipstick. I just need to use it more often. Which is why I am using everything from this Project Pan as I get ready as I film this video, because it holds me a little bit more accountable. I forgot how much I like this lipstick. Now I'm like, idiot, why aren't you using that all the time? I do have another lipstick for this Project Pan, but I did use it recently in another video, so I'm really proud of myself. It's my Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the shade Trendsetter. I have used this, oh God,
once.
And that was like 2 days ago. So that tells you how much I've been wearing lip products, especially now that you have to wear a mask everywhere. So it's a really nice, I love this lipstick. It's very nice. It's dark. It's more of like a fall winter lipstick for me. So it has been the summer, so I don't really use it as much, but I did use it one whole time since May. It's August now. So May, June, July, August. So yeah, 3 months then. I'm sorry, why do I keep saying 5 months? Like 3 months worth. My blush for this Project Pan, I have 2, and I'm not really sure. I'm gonna talk about this one and see how many times I used it. It's my Pixie by Petra. It's falling apart. It just wants to crumble every time I open it. It cracked once, and that's just what it does. It's in the shade Whisper Pink. It's a very nice blush. I have used it 3 times since May. I don't know if I want to use this one or if I want to use this one from Sephora. This is my blush in the shade Love at First Sight. I have used this one 5 times, so I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the Pixie one because I have used the Sephora one 5 times. Just using my favorite AOA Studio F13 blush brush. Love this thing. Okay, you see what I mean? Like every time I open it, every time I open it up, There's more crumblies, and I'm gonna have to repress it, and I didn't realize that, so bear with me. It's so pretty though. Oh, I love it. You're such a nice blush. I need to try more makeup products from Pixie Beauty. I have tried mostly skincare from them, but I always say I want to try more makeup. I have this and a lip gloss, and that's all I have from them. It's kind of like iridescent as well. Ooh, that's too much, Amanda. That's too much. Just don't do that. Okay, it's got like a little bit of a shimmer to it, so it's really pretty. Oh, I just love it. I love blush. I need to use this more. I need to repress it so that that doesn't happen. So yeah, used it 3 times. Now it's 4, so it's not terrible. Could be better. However, I do have a lot of stuff in my collection, so I have quite a few blushes that I do go through, and it's hard to like, it's really hard to make a dent when you have that many things in your collection. Next was something I finished. I am so excited. I finished a mascara. It was my Butter London mascara. It either dried out or it was actually done. I put it in my last empties video, which I will link up here somewhere at some point. And so that leaves me with another mascara, which was my Essence mascara. I'm gonna wait until I put on my eyeshadow before I put this on. This is the Sculpted Volume Mascara. I have used this bad boy. I've used this 7 times, so that's not bad. I like this mascara. It's very nice. I'll put it on when it's time. All right, for highlight, I only have 1 highlight in this project. Oh no, I have 2 highlights, the Hourglass. And then I have this one. And I want to use this one today. This is my Baked Highlight by Laura Mercier in the shade 1. I have used this 3 times, which isn't bad because considering when I put it into this project pan, I wasn't using it at all. It's very blinding. It's very light for me this time of year, but we're going for it anyways. I don't care. Oh, because I love it so much. It's just it's almost like got a little bit of a pink undertone. So I'm really happy I put that in this project pan. I do need to keep using it. Okay, so that's it right there. Now I don't have an eyeshadow palette for this project pan, but I do have an eyeshadow primer. So this one is by The Balm, and I hit pan. I get way too excited about that. Okay, so I hit pan in July. I've used this 15 times since May. Yes. I've been using this constantly. I'm going to use it right now. It is getting really dry, but it still works. Like, I don't have any issues. I like to apply it best with a brush. I'm using my BH Cosmetics 128 brush right now. And I'm just going to prime my eyes very, very quickly with it. Oh yeah, I'm making a huge dent in that. I'm really excited because I am making so much progress on that, and it's just like, I'm just like, yes, it's about time. And I've been working really hard on all of my project pan stuff. If I haven't done the updates yet, I do apologize. They will be coming soon. I find that I just kind of fell into a weird little rut where I was like, nope, I don't have the energy to film for YouTube, and as you can see, I'm kind of starting to get back into it. So now I'm ready to start doing my updates because there's a little bit more work to them. Like, you actually have to like go through and see how many times you've used everything, and I have to like actually think about what I'm gonna say. Sometimes it's harder. Sometimes my project, does anybody else find that with your project pan updates that you struggle with that? Because I really do. So I am gonna use this center powder right now. In the Kat Von D, I'm just gonna very gently set my eyes. Beauts. And I do want to talk about one other product that I did finish from this project pan, and it was my AOA Studio brow pencil from Shop Miss A. I did finish that up in January, so I don't have a brow product for this project pan, and I'm not, if I finish something, I'm not adding another item, but I did want to talk about what I used for my brows today, which was my L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Definer. I like this brow pencil. It's pretty good. And I just used my Maybelline Fit Me 122 shade Fit Me Plus Poreless foundation. I find that my videos are just way too friggin' long if I do my foundation too. I love grapefruit sparkling water. It is my favorite flavor. I'm gonna use the gloss from this project pan, which is my Smith & Cult. I love this gloss. I've never used a gloss so much. Can you see that? And it's like, it's taken me so long to use that much of it. And I'm like, why did I pick this one? This one I've used 10 times. That's a lot for me. I don't use gloss very often, but this one I find if I use it, I don't hate it. So I love this gloss. It's very nice. I have no real complaints about it. So I have stuff. I'm terrible. I have all of my decluttered palettes sitting beside me and I'm like, these are the palettes I'm going to declutter. Film your video after you do this one. And I have one here and I'm like, oh, I'm keeping this one. I've changed my mind. And it's because I don't have an eyeshadow palette to already use. And I have hemmed and hawed about this forever. And it's just, I just like this palette enough. And I know I'll hit pan on it eventually. So I'm like, I might as well just keep using it. Because every time I see it, I'm like, I don't want to get rid of that. And it's so tiny that I think I should keep it. It's by Bang Beauty. I'm just going to use this for my eyeshadow today because I do have a single eyeshadow, but I don't have any matte shades. So I'm going to use this. I just like to take this shade right here. It's just a really nice crease shade. They're just so tiny. Like, it's just such a teeny tiny little palette. I guess I could have used this contour palette for a crease shade, but oh well. I just really like this eyeshadow palette. Same shade, just going in on the other side. My friend Laura actually gave me this. And I'm going to go in with this bottom shade here. It's just a little bit darker. Have you ever tried any eyeshadows from Bang Beauty before? Are these as good as I think they are? Because I think they're pretty darn good. Easy peasy. So this is by Ace Beauty. This is a single eyeshadow that I have for this project pan. And it was in my recent faves and fails from July. So I will link that up here somewhere. I have used this 10 times. So I use this one all the time. It's the single shadow of my collection that I reach for almost as often as my AOA Studio ones. Very, very nice formula. I wish I had all of them. I do have one in the shade Huckleberry. I'm probably going to pass it along to somebody that will use it because it's just not the shade for me. However, there's another set that they have that looks really pretty as well. And I just love the formula of these. And I don't have an abundance of single shadows, but these ones just are awesome for me. And this one, I don't know if it's just because it's silver and it's super sparkly and it makes me really happy, but I can just toss this shadow on almost any day with any eyeshadow and I'm always happy. So I'm like, that's a win. Like, it's a win. I use it all the time. When I first got it, I never used it. And now that I use it more often, I'm like, yeah, it's a really good shadow. I'm going to pop on my mascara now. I love it so much. Such a good mascara for $4.99 or $5.99 or whatever it costs. It's freaking good for what it costs, like seriously.
So good.
And I do believe I have one more product. I'm just going to double check my notebook. Check. I do have a poppy seed scrub from Young Living that I have used 4 times. I'm not sure where it is right now, so I'm just gonna let you know it's still here. I will use it. I just need to find it. We're getting ready to move, so things might be a little bit more hectic for me going forward with project pan type things, so I'm just gonna keep doing my best. Almost didn't find this one, but I did find it. It's my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. It is in the shade Light, and it is getting really close down there at the bottom. As you can see, I have used this 5 times, and that's because I couldn't find it for a little while. Still don't know where it was, but one day it was there, so it was probably just one of those instances where I was just not paying attention. All right, and that is everything. Thank you guys so much, and if you are still here, let me know in the comments, how is your day going? And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye. Actually, considering I haven't worked in 5 months, I'm actually very impressed with myself that I have used these makeup items as often as I have. Good for me. Good job, Amanda. Woo, I'm so excited. And I don't use a lot of foundation, so it's a really, I don't know. Oh, yes. I needed a drink and there was a sparkling water right in front of me.